Welcome to... We have a lot of board games, so you get to listen to me talk about them.
Ark Nova! Animals, plants, kinda, stock photos of meetings, local wildlife, whatever this is! Welcome to the zoo. Let me show you around. Ark Nova is a 2021 release from designer Matthias Wigge and published by Feuerland Spiele, which translates to Land of Fire Games. This is a Euro-style zoo simulator. The goal is to gain enough popularity among the zoogoers, or appeal, shown through this track over here with lots of numbers, to match the amount of work you've put into preserving the natural world, through conservation, shown through this track with way less numbers and a bunch of symbols that starts over here. You get one past the other and you end the game. This is another of the design philosophy I'm very keen on in board games, which is limited actions with big implications. You've got 5 actions you can take on your turn, represented by these 5 cards here. Anything else that happens stems from pushing one of these buttons. You may notice these numbers above them. That's because the further to the right an action is, the stronger it is. Using an action also moves it back to the 1 space, moving all the others to the right, creating a conveyor belt effect where actions get stronger over time. Each action has an upgraded version on the back. These are flipped over by activating this symbol. There are 4 of these symbols placed throughout the game board, meaning that you can flip at most 4 out of 5 of these in a single game. This alone presents an important decision, not only in the order of which actions you upgrade, but which action you're leaving behind. This decision usually comes down to what other tools you have access to, which cards you draw, and sometimes which map you're on. The maps themselves come in a variety of flavors, with some uniform maps for keeping things simple, and a wide range of unique maps, giving each player a different set of symbols to gain and an ability unique to that map to use under the right circumstances. So the actions. This is build. It lets you build. Further to the right, bigger building. There's regular enclosures, that's 1 to 5, which house an animal of the required size or lower, petting zoos for sweet babies, kiosks for income, and pavilions to fill spots and earn a single appeal. Flip it over and you get access to special buildings, just for lizards and just for birds, and you can build more buildings per action, up to the number instead of 1. Plus, you'll need it to build over this symbol on the map. Covering every space on the map gets you an extra 7 appeal. This action is your biggest setup piece. How you place your buildings, especially since you have to start from a board edge and keep everything connected, matters a lot for long-term plans. Certain animals need to sit next to rocks or water, and lining up your building so that you can place multiple animals beside each one of these spots saves you heartache later when things get crowded. Ensuring you leave yourself room to grow and play all the animals you intend to play, and also the ones you might not have even seen yet, is a key part of the strategy. Association. This one lets you take these actions up here using any workers you have. Everyone starts with 1. Again, the numbers tell you how far over you can go. You can gain some rep, claim either a continental partnership. These give you discounts towards animals from that continent. A university, these give you some symbols like reputation or research, which matters for some cards. This special symbol is how you increase your hand limit from 3 to 5, and can be critical for not letting your plan get disrupted by the break. These are also 2 possible ways to upgrade one of your cards. Upgrading a card as soon as you can is crucial to the overall game plan and usually a priority. The strongest association action is supporting a conservation project. These are some of the biggest opportunities for scoring on the board. A conservation point is worth about 3 appeal, and the track is a lot shorter, so moving this number over can help you end the game and secure a victory much faster than just playing lots of cool animals. That basically makes these starting conservation projects your primary goal. Racing to secure the highest number on these can give you a big jump, and the bonuses at the start of the conservation track are huge, and once they're taken, so you want to get there first if you can. This leads to the choice of sometimes just taking a lower spot on the project, so you can get the points earlier and beat your opponents to a sweet benefit. It's all a balance of how much you think you can get done the fastest, and also just which animal cards you end up with that match these requirements. You can only have 1 cube on these projects, and they come from over here. These spaces also give you immediate and sometimes income bonuses for uncovering them. Cards. This one draws you cards. Or you can snap a card instead of drawing if it's all the way over here, according to the chart. Snapping means taking one from the display. If it's left over, you can draw cards from your reputation range from the display without snapping, and you draw more cards. This is an upgrade I tend to prioritize if the game is feeding me bad or unhelpful cards. If your goal is playing animals, getting to better animals sooner goes a long way. Bonus, flipping cards is how you move past this point on the rep track, and this thing is loaded with cool bonuses and points. Cards also advances the break mark. Sponsors. This one lets you play a sponsor card up to the level. These can be complicated, useless, or absolutely busted. They can give you money for playing certain animals, bonuses for gaining certain continent symbols, big in-game scoring opportunities, extra workers, unique buildings that also give you cool abilities, cool houses for certain animals. These offer a wide variety of opportunities and can help sculpt your overall strategy. Making the most of their effects and securing these in-game bonuses can be the difference in loss and victory. Or you can use sponsors to gain money and move the break marker. X equals dollars. And flipping it over lets you play sponsor cards at a lower level, X plus 1, or get double dollars. Cha-ching. I've brought up the break marker a few times now. This break marker here, this little coffee cup, is how you get money and reset the board. Rather than a traditional round structure, Ark Nova just keeps going around until someone triggers a break, at which point you'll do stuff you'd expect to see during a round-in style reset phase. Players discard down to hand size, 3 or 5 if you have this symbol, churn some cards through the display, reset these workers, gain money based off your appeal up here, plus anything from cards, the map, your kiosks, and maybe sometimes map effects. In addition, whoever triggers the break gets an X. You can have 5 of these at a time and burn any number when you take an action to increase it by that much. That can even put you above the normal max of 5. Triggering the break when your opponent has a fat grip of cards can greatly disrupt their plan by making them discard things they were trying to use. But it has the downside of letting them move first with more money. Playing chicken over who's going to trigger the break is some of the most direct interaction you've got with your opponents in this often very solitaire-style game. Finally, there's animals. At its strongest, animals can let you play 2 cards out at once. Most of the game feels like it centers around setting up to play the correct animals. I believe thematically this represents the careful considerations, paperwork, construction, and coordination all involved to get these often rare or endangered creatures safely moved into their new, permanent, or temporary homes. Animals range from tiny lizards or weasels up to walruses, tigers, elephants, and more. Lions, and tigers, and bears. Oh my. Each one is unique in the deck, though some share abilities. These are by far the crux of the strategy. Many of them give you an immediate bonus, which can be insanely powerful, like getting your own conservation card to play, or another in-game scoring card, or even letting you take another turn. They also give you appeal, which pushes you towards the end game and gives you more money during breaks. And that's it. Take turns until someone crosses their own piece. Everyone else then takes one more turn, and then we score. The winner is whoever gets their pieces past each other by the farthest. In-game scoring always comes from these brown effects found in many sponsor cards. Both the requirement and the reward differ from card to card, but most of the time they're advancing either your conservation or appeal marker further. Some of the biggest bumps you'll get, though, are from the in-game scoring cards you dealt at the beginning. These have a max of 4 additional conservation points you can earn by fulfilling their requirement, and that's a huge amount. Be warned though, some of these are much easier to achieve than others, and some can be counterintuitive to your strategy, hence why getting 2 of them is useful, since everyone has to ditch one of them the first time somebody crosses the 10 mark on the conservation point track. Hopefully by then you'll know which one you're planning to use.
This system is built around timing decisions. Knowing when to take an action at a lower level for a quick benefit versus waiting until it's at its absolute strongest is critical to the strategy here. Knowing when to trigger the break so that you can get that money on your next turn, but knowing your opponents can have access to it before you versus biding your time and trying to make them trigger the break. All of this makes for the difficult, unique puzzle that this game presents upon each play. And the massive deck of cards makes sure that each game is entirely unique, sometimes to its benefit and sometimes you just never draw the cards you need. But being able to make it work, that's the difficulty. This game's pretty widely regarded as one of the best games of all time by the community, and I'm in no position to disagree. I love this game. I love all the really cool animals and stuff. They're great. I would recommend it to anyone. Play this game! I'm not asking!